weather, wind 260 at 11, gust 17, visibility 10, clear below 12,000, temperature 16 Celsius, dew point -16, altimeter 3019 there, remarks. Density altitude 10,009 there, 100.
All right, welcome aboard. We are in Telluride, Colorado, and we're going to do a straight out departure to the west on runway 27. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just put O2 on now since we're already at 9,100 feet.
Telluride traffic, citation 857 Juliet Sierra is going to be taxiing off the ramp to runway 27 for departure, Telluride.
Juliet Sierra, altimeter 3019, my winds are 250 at 07, gusting 17.
Okay, 7 Juliet Sierra, thank you.
Telluride traffic, Mooney 7164 uniforms, taking off runway 27 for a straight out departure. Instruments in the green, airspeed's alive. The fun thing about Telluride is you pretty much just fly off the end of the runway. There's a 1,000-foot cliff at the end. So if you're not flying, by the time you get to the end of the runway, you will be. And we might catch an updraft at the end of the runway here. There it is. Flaps coming up. Just a little bit here. All right, fuel pump's coming off. Pressure's good.
Telluride traffic, citation 857 Juliet Sierra is taking runway 27 for departure, Telluride.
Telluride traffic, that Mooney just departed. We're 5 miles straight out. You'll be well above us.
Okay, 57 Juliet Sierra copies that, thank you. And Mooney, how was your ride climbing out of Telluride?
Little light chop, but otherwise fairly smooth so far.
Okay, thanks. And Mooney, say your altitude again and what you're climbing to.
We're at 10.5 right now, climbing only about 400 feet a minute.
Okay.
Traffic in sight. That's a Telluride departure. Pretty straightforward. All right, welcome back. We're flying VFR flight following right now from Telluride to Longmont, Lima Mike Oscar. We just are north of Montrose right now, getting ready to fly McClure Pass, past Mount Sopris, right over the Eagle Vale area, the Snow VOR up to Kremling, and then east to the Divide and over down into Boulder and north to Longmont. Turn this on just for a second so you can see what kind of burn we get and speeds up here. We've got a little bit of a tailwind, which we'll calculate here in a second. We're at 15,500 VFR altitude. We're starting to true out now. I've been up here for about 2 minutes, and the temperature outside looks like it's negative 8 degrees Celsius. So we'll go ahead and plug that into our utilities. Negative 8 Celsius, and we'll compute. Looks like we got a 12 knot, 13 knot tailwind component right here. At 142, 140 true airspeed, we're about 125 indicated. And we're doing all of that on 7.5 gallons an hour. Takes a while to get up to altitude in this naturally aspirated airplane, but once you're here, you are rewarded with ridiculously low fuel burns and really good speed. Our speed over the ground right now, 153, 152 knots, so roughly 170-ish miles an hour. We'll be in Longmont in 1 hour. All right, welcome back. We are headed due east right now towards Rollins Pass. So this is the pass I typically cross when I'm crossing the Divide. It's just to the north of Winter Park, if you're familiar with that area. You've got James Peak to the south, then you've got the rising terrain, the Indian Peaks up to Meeker and Longs Peak to the north. And I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a flat area that's about 15 miles long, maybe.
132.85 for Delta 934.
And that whole ridge line is about 12,500 feet. So I typically cross at 13.5 or above. Right now, we've got plenty of altitude. We're at 15.5. And ground speed will continue to increase as we get closer and closer because you've got that rising air that'll sort of shoot us up. So we'll be cooking when we get to the Divide. We're currently doing 162 over the ground on 8.6 gallons an hour. It looks like. So moving right along. So here we are crossing the Divide. We're almost exactly over the Continental Divide now. I'm going to go ahead and turn the autopilot off because it gets a little choppy here. We've got that rising air current and it eddies on the backside here, which makes for good glider traffic. You get a lot of gliders up here, so you got to keep your eyes open because many of them don't have transponders. So this is one of those areas you want to be looking out the window and constantly looking for traffic. Not a bad view either. Now I don't have to pull the power back much because it was only running about 16 wide open, but I'll pull it back to about 15 inches of mercury here. Trim down and accelerate right into the yellow arc here, pointing straight towards Boulder, down Boulder Canyon. I dip the wing here, there's Boulder, right out the front of the window. And I already have Longmont in sight, but right now we're just sort of losing altitude without pulling the power back too much because you don't want to shock cool the engine.
November 6-4 uniform, there appear to be at least 2 aircraft in the pattern at Longmont using runway 11, and then there is a jump aircraft on the way up with jumpers. Radar services are committed. Squawk VFR, change of vouchers approved.
Thanks for the help today. Going to VFR, and we'll fly to the east of the field and enter a left downwind just for planning purposes.
Roger.
Longmont traffic, Sky November 1201 Echo, turning left base, runway 11, touch and go.
Longmont traffic, Mooney 64 uniform 3 to the northeast, we're entering a 45, left downwind 11, Longmont.
Longmont, Sky 94 Echoes, turning cross, runway 11, Longmont.
Longmont traffic, Mooney 64 uniform downwind 11, beam the numbers 29, Longmont.
Longmont traffic, Sky November 1201 Echo, turning final for runway 11, touch and go. Longmont traffic, Sky 94 Echoes, turning downwind for runway 11, Longmont.
Longmont traffic, Mooney 64 uniform, turning base 11, full stop, Longmont.
500.
ADS-B makes it so easy to pick your place in the pattern. We just snuck right in front of that Cessna and placed ourselves right between the one doing patterns here. Longmont traffic, Mooney 64 uniform, 1 mile final, 11, full stop.
Longmont traffic, Sky November 1201 Echo on the departure leg of runway 11. Longmont traffic, Sky 94 Echoes, turning base runway 11, Longmont. Longmont traffic, Skyhawk November 1201 Echo, departing the pattern south.
Longmont traffic, Mooney 64 uniform, clear at Alpha 2.